And 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody of all ages, it is me, Bobo, yet again with the talented, the amazing, the man who eats T-bone steaks, lip barbell plates, sweeter than a German chocolate cake, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. The ultimate sign of respect. What you get is what you don't expect. The one and only Zach from Diamond Select. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I see you survived San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes, I did. I need to
Uh,
shave still, but I am back.
hey, rocking out the, manly look. So that definitely works. How was San Diego? We'll just dive right into things.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't as busy as we expected it to be, just because it was. I think a lot of people were reluctant to come back, or they bought tickets and they weren't sure if they wanted to go, or um, I don't know. It was a little quieter, but we did pretty good with our exclusives. We sold out of a couple of them, which is great.
Nice.
We showed off a lot of new stuff, which people seemed very excited about. And we had a good turnout for our panel. We had a pretty good turnout. The room was near full, which is great.
That's always good to hear. I know sometimes in the past you guys have had panels at weird times where other stuff that's crazy is going on, but it's nice to see that a lot of people made it into the room for the event.
Yeah, they booked us pretty early. It was a Thursday afternoon. So sometimes they'll book us on a Saturday or a Sunday, and it's definitely either more busy or people are not, they're really interested in doing that. They're shopping or whatever. But we had a nice early spot, which was good.
Always good to hear. And then you guys wrapped up over there what Sunday, and then
Yep.
came back.
Yeah, we packed up Sunday night, and then I flew out first thing Monday morning. It's a long day of travel, but because I'm on the East Coast, but yeah, it was uneventful the travel, but it was a good show I think overall.
That's awesome. I'm gonna go into a little more detail as we go on to ask you people's thoughts and what you saw. But I believe the first slide I wanted to bring up was something that I think was announced at the panel and then slowly went to pre-order right afterwards. If I could bring it in, am I correct in that?
I don't know if I actually announced it at the panel because we were saving it for the 29th.
Oh, okay.
But it's a Diamond Comics 40th anniversary exclusive, which means they're going to offer it to their previews customers. And it's a TMNT 4-pack, our first TMNT Minimates in a few years, actually.
That's awesome. I know a lot of people were wanting to see more Turtles mini mates because I know you guys had done some stuff earlier on, both based on I believe the cartoon show that was at the time, and then some of the more classic looks. There was like I think away with that, or did those get were those ever put into production?
We never did the classic 1980s Turtles,
Oh, okay.
80s and 90s Turtles. So we showed them off at a show, but orders were not strong.
Mm,
We had previously done some based on like the 2010s series. I'm a little hazy on when it started and when it ended, but we did like 5 or 6 waves based on that, and they did really well. We had them at Kmart, we had them at Toys R Us, we had them in a lot of places, and um, and I guess just they were maybe turtled out by the time we offered the classic stuff. Nowadays, I think if we offer the classic stuff, the 80s stuff, we do pretty well. But we're starting off with this, which is based on actually the original toys. They have the same facial expressions as the original toys. They have the same brown weapons as the original toys. They will come with all of their weapons. The photographer didn't have them all when he shot them, but Leo will come with
okay.
his swords, and Raph will come with his nunchucks. A lot of people were concerned about that, but we're definitely doing that. Um, the photographer just didn't have them at the time.
Gotcha. And now these look really cool. I know you've slowly been trickling in mini mates to get me on board, but I like the presentation here with the VHS packaging, the nice callback there. But I'm slowly discovering my love of mini mates here.
That's great. I know you love the Vinimates with a
I
V,
do
but
love the mini mates.
But I got to get you more Minimates with an M.
And I see the logo changed on the Minimates this year.
Yes, yeah. The sort of artistic director on Minimates, Barry Bradfield, who does all the designs and illustrations. He worked on a new logo for Minimates. We haven't done it for Vinimates yet, but I imagine that'll be the next step, doing a new Vinimates logo too, because the Vinimates logo is based directly on the old Minimates logo.
That was my next question. I was going to be like, is Vinimates going to get a new logo?
He and I were just talking about it yesterday, so we'll have to see if what he comes up with, whether he wants to do something like the Minimates logo or something totally different. But maybe we'll see a new Vinimates logo coming up soon.
Nice. And would you, out of all the brands you like have worked on longevity wise, Minimates is the longest running of those brands, correct?
Minimates started in 2002, 20 years ago. At the very beginning, they were 3 inches tall, but it was only when we got to the Marvel line that we downscaled them to 2 inches tall. So they've been going for 20 years. Marvel Select, our action figure line, has been going for the same amount of time. It started in 2002 as well. So Marvel Select has been going for 20 years, and Minimates overall have been going for 20 years. But the Marvel line itself has been going for 19 years, which is, we think, a record for a consecutive action figure line. Like, G.I. Joe started and stopped a bunch of times. Marvel Legends, started and stopped, changed companies, went away for a little while. So I think we're confident saying that Marvel Minimates is the longest uninterrupted. I mean, because the set we just released, the Fantastic Four Deluxe box set, was technically the 82nd series of regular release Minimates, and that's not counting all the Toys R Us series that we did and box sets that we did and stuff like that. So we're going over to an all box set format, so we aren't going to be doing the 2-packs anymore. But yeah, 19 years of Marvel Minimates, 20 years of Minimates overall. It's a pretty good run.
I was about to say, I mean, what, 80? The What If Zombie set would be Series 83, right?
No, that's just a 6-pack that we're doing in the hexagonal packaging.
Gotcha.
We're it's not a regular comic based series. I don't know if we're gonna mix in like MCU stuff into the comic series. But we have Series 83 in the works. We actually revealed 83 at San Diego at the panel, which is the Young Avengers.
Oh, nice.
It's not the first appearance of Young Avengers, but the later version of the Young Avengers, which has America Chavez, Kid Loki, Kate Bishop is in both versions, but a lot of characters that you have seen in the MCU lately. So,
okay.
So we're hoping that it'll have a lot of appeal to people who are fans of those characters.
A nice little cross pollination, if you will.
Yeah.
Very
but
nice.
Definitely comic based. The What If series is just is another Diamond Comics 40th anniversary exclusive we're doing. So that's going to be 6-pack in this sort of hexagonal packaging that we did for the San Diego exclusives a couple years back. It's a special packaging. It's opposed to the box sets we're doing now, which have the original art on the cover and our 6-packs in a tray with a box and a window. So that's what we're going to be doing for the regular series going forward. But What If is just sort of a one-off fun thing that we're doing.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And then let's see here. Let's get into some figure talk. Let's get the screen back up here. Lord of the Rings continues to chug on. We got a couple new announcements here. This wonderful, beautiful beast right here. Look at him looking all mean and angry.
Yeah, we got Lurtz. We just did an Uruk-hai orc in the last series with Gandalf, but now we're doing Lurtz, leader of them, and he came out looking really great. That's a Gentle Giant Studios piece. They worked on these, and he does come with a bunch of accessories. We're still working out exactly what accessories, and this is still a prototype, so he's standing up there, sort of glued together. But he's going to be a really nice figure when he comes out, and he'll come with some cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean the detail. I mean, I know this is a prototype, but You guys, usually from your prototypes to final form, yeah, they're pretty close, if not like spot on, most like 99% of the time. So like, if this is what we're seeing, like it's going to be interesting once it's in final form.
Yeah, our prototype to product is pretty great. The accessories, sometimes fall off a little bit, but we aim high and then we see what we can do, is what we always say. So we try not to show off accessories too much, just because things may change. But he will come with some stuff for sure. I don't know exactly what. There were a couple different things that were in the box with him from Gentle Giant. But I chose not to put them out just so we wouldn't get people's expectations up and then not deliver. But yeah.
Because the internet, they're a very forgiving bunch.
Oh yes, yeah. No, that Ninja Turtles picture with no accessories in it has people equally concerned that there's not going to be any swords with the 4-pack. So there's a fine line to walk. You got to show as much as you can need to, but not as much as you can. So I chose not to put anything out for this one. It was on a top shelf anyway. You wouldn't really have been able to see the accessories very well. But yeah, I'm sure he'll come with a sword and hopefully a bow, I believe.
Very nice. And then, of course,
yep, Boromir. I think this one is still pending approval for the likeness, but I think they did a really good job on the likeness, so I'm hoping it'll be a slam dunk.
I was about to say, like, this look right here came out really good. Just like who was it? Aragon. You guys did phenomenal on Aragon.
Yeah. I think our Aragorn is one of the better
I said
Aragorns that have been made.
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's a solid figure. He's actually I can't reach him, but that's a solid figure. I really like that figure. Um, so when people are coming through the booth and they're seeing all this stuff, like, um, what do they say about the Lord of the Rings line that we're not hearing? Like just regular consumer type people who enjoy the stuff.
I didn't spend a ton of time on the back side of the booth where the prototypes are on display. The president does. He sits there and he answers questions and he talks to people about stuff. So I didn't really hear what they were saying about it, but I mean, when I was talking to doing interviews and talking to press, they all seemed very impressed with it, which is great. And I think people online, you see a lot of people talking, they're asking questions about the articulation, what sort of articulation he's going to have. Some people want specific type of wrist articulation so that he can hold swords a specific way, which I understand. But I've passed along concerns, and we'll have to see how they end up.
Gotcha. I mean, hey, you can only do so much at a certain price point, balancing all these things together. So I mean, you do what you can. You let the consumer. I always say, decide with their wallet and go from there.
Yeah. The line's doing very well.
I was about to say,
we sold out of a couple characters and from the first run. Aragorn definitely sold out. He's a really good figure. Who else? I think Legolas, we've done a couple production runs on, and he sold very well. And I want to say the Ring Wraith, I think, is also selling out. I think he's almost sold out in our web store, and he's sold out in the main warehouse as well. So yeah, I guess people are army building the Ring Wraith, which is cool. But yeah, Aragorn just alone is just a really good looking figure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then, with the army, that's the nice thing about this line. If you want to army build, you can. Not necessarily have to, but there's options between, the different orcs and whatnot. So I have a couple of those built up. I think about like 3 of each or 2 of each. Something like I gotta go back and look, but I was like, yeah, you need a couple to fill out to look imposing and mean while they're fighting the other characters and whatnot. So it's a fun line. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan of the movies and a fan of the product. So I'm pretty happy so far.
Awesome. And then I think a surprise that I didn't know was coming was some Green Hornet stuff in figure form.
Yeah, we solicited the bust a while back, and we solicited the first action figure maybe a couple months ago, the one in the black with the staff. But the one of him in the white jacket is new. We haven't shown that one before the show. I don't know when we're going to offer it either, because I think we're going to probably try and release the black one first.
Nice. That head sculpt on the jacket one. I mean, both head sculpt are good, but he's in a mask. But that's a very impressive head sculpt, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't know who sculpted these in particular, but our head sculpts for Bruce Lee I think are definitely improving. So I'm excited about seeing the response to the white jacket version. The black jacket version is great. He's going to come with some more accessories like a staff. I think he might even have an alternate head without the hat. I'm not positive about that. But some other weapons as well.
Oh, nice. I'm definitely looking forward to those because it's just a unique piece. I was at that age where you'd see this show in syndication right before 66 Batman would show up, or sometimes it'd be after, depending on. So that was my introduction to Bruce Lee as a kid, was that show. And then, as you get older, you go through and learn about everything else.
Yeah, I don't think I have seen more than 1 or 2 episodes of Green Hornet. I watched tons of Batman 66, but I guess if they were showing it after Batman, I guess I either didn't know or didn't appreciate it at the time. But I watched a lot of Batman 66, but I've only seen a couple episodes of Green Hornet. So I'm more coming to it more from a Bruce Lee fan standpoint, having seen a bunch of his movies.
Let's see here. These actually went up for pre-order. Invincible continues on.
Yes. Series 3 with Alan the Alien and Duplicate, and I believe Duplicate, and I've heard this, that Duplicate comes with stickers, so that if you buy more than one Duplicate, you can put a number 2 on her chest, or a number 3 on her chest, or number 4 on her chest. So that's my understanding. I haven't seen the stickers yet, but usually those are the last things that get done. And Alan might come with an alternate head. He's got sort of a cocky eye going on here. I think he's got an angry eye too. I could be wrong about that.
It's too pixelated.
Maybe a confused eye. It's sort of like a huh?
Or it's the people's eye, like the people's
yes, the people's
eyebrows. No, these look good. The Invincible line. I love that big, tall statue you have at the booth.
Oh yeah. The life-size figure. We made that up special to bring to shows. I think Robert Kirkman, the creator of Invincible, has already laid claim to it. So when we're done with it, we'll give it to him.
Oh, nice, very nice.
But it's traveling around. Somebody busted the wrist off recently, but I patched it up pretty good. It's a really nice piece. Our Jason Wires, who's our prototype painter and 3D printer, he made it up for us, and he did a really great job.
Oh, very cool. I have to say this because I don't think it gets said enough. You guys, I think, have some of the best sculptors, like, under one roof.
Oh, thank you.
Like,
yeah, we've got some really amazing talent.
I've sampled enough of the Diamond catalog to see that there's just so much variety, but it all fits in at the same time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, not everything is some stuff's really, really super detailed. Some stuff's animated style like this. But Paul Harding can do both. He's really great. Rocco Tartamella is great at likenesses. He does a lot of our Bruce Lee stuff. Chris Dahlberg, formerly the Four Horsemen, worked on our Invincible stuff, and also some of our Cobra Kai stuff with Rocco. Who else do it work? Oh, Alejandro Pereira Escura, Jorge Santos Souza. We've got some really, really great talent. They work on a lot of our comic-based stuff. Yeah, there's tons I'm not mentioning, but also our designers are really great too. Our Legends in 3D are all designed by Joe Allard. He does some other pieces for us as well. Barry Bradfield, who designs the Minimates, also does a lot of our animated style galleries and busts, like gargoyles and so actually he works on the Batman 66 and Green Hornet stuff for the busts. And Caesar Antimati, who does a lot of our comic-based gallery dioramas. He's a really amazing designer as well. So we've got, and Uriel Catone doesn't do as much work for us anymore, but he's done some of my favorite pieces of all. What was the thing he did just recently that was so great? He's been doing the Avatar dioramas, which are really
okay.
And he did, I think he did the Baroness for our G.I. Joe line, which I can't think came out fantastic. So, yeah, we've got a lot of great designers and sculptors. And that's not even to mention the painters, who I don't know as well. But we've got some great painters who can really nail that, like on our Scotty Young statues, where it looks like they're hand drawn, which is really cool. And our X-Men the Animated Series busts, where they have like the cell shading, that sort of stuff going on. There's some really great talent working on our stuff.
No, absolutely. I thank you for shouting out all those people because, like I said, I'm generally always impressed with what I see, and I know there's a lot of people involved making all that happen. Let's see here. Okay, yes, I wanted to bring up Pacific Rim because I had a question. I know we had previously talked about this, but is this all new? Is this different from the other version that you guys did, or?
We've never done action figures based on the original Pacific Rim movie.
Oh, okay. So this is
And
from
this is
movie.
Gypsy Danger from the original movie.
Gotcha.
We did 9 figures based on Pacific Rim Uprising, including Gypsy Avenger, the second generation version of this. But I think this figure came out really great. I believe it was sculpted by Big Shot Toy Works. I'm not sure about that. But they did a really great job. And yeah, it's about, I guess it's about 8 inches tall, maybe around there. And it's gonna have some interchangeable hands too. I think we might have shown some pictures of it with like the chainsaw hand, and the blaster hand that she has.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just like, I'm not like super deep on my Pacific Rim knowledge, so I was like, this looks new, but like I know they said they might go back and release some of the older stuff. So
Yeah, all the older stuff is up for pre-order now. So if you missed out on any of the 9, they're all up for pre-order at various places. But this
okay.
one just went up for pre-order, I guess like 2 weeks ago.
Mm. So yeah, no, this is very cool. I know there was a lot of people who were really. I looked in a lot of different forums, and the response to this specifically was very positive from what I read.
Great, that's
So
good.
no, absolutely. And then moving on from there, let's talk some wrestling. So this was an exciting new reveal for you guys. This is completely different. I mean, you before we go in the mini mate portion, you had a special guest from AEW at San Diego this year, CM Punk, if I'm not mistaken, and he was there signing the mini mate 2-pack. And how was that experience like? And the presence during that, I'm sure, was a bit chaotic, but I'll let you tell me about it.
Yeah, it was great. He came by. We gave a raffle ticket to everybody who bought one of our Vinimate 2-packs. And then we drew the numbers, and we had 50 people who were able to get something signed by him. The Vinimates 2-pack anyway. And he was very gracious. He came by and he sat down for all 50, and he was able to get to everybody, which is really great. He signed a couple for us to give out as prizes later. And he brought a whole bunch of wrestlers with him. He brought Orange Cassidy. He brought Darby Allin, who signed some pictures of his Minimate, which we didn't have on hand, but he signed some pictures of it. Britt Baker was there. She saw her Minimate. She and Orange Cassidy both love their Minimates. Jade Cargill was there. We unfortunately haven't done her Minimate yet, but she was very nice as well. And then backstage later on, I met Ricky Starks, who was very nice, and Bryan Danielson was there. I didn't get to talk to him or Excalibur, but they were there as well. And Chris Jericho. I met Chris Jericho, which he was very very
nice.
nice. So I just got a picture of him with his Minimate as well. They were all very cool, and I look forward to working with them some more in the future. Maybe I'll get out to some events and get to show them their product in person. We're working on some other gallery dioramas. The Minimates, we showed series 1 and 2. You just showed series 2 there with Hangman Page in the front there. Hangman Page, Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, and John Moxley. They're in series 2, which we have not offered yet.
Okay. I think
that's series 1. CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, and Britt Baker.
And these are now up for pre-order, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's a box set with a chair and a chain and a table, and you can order those now.
Do you guys are you guys still working on the packaging for these?
I think we're doing a window box, kind of like we did with Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
With the door that opens up, so we'll have I guess pictures of the wrestlers on the front. And we'll see how that goes. We haven't done anything like that before with real photographs on the front, but I think we're going to do that rather than do Minimate artwork. We'll have to see. It's still in the planning stages. We haven't quite gotten there yet. But yeah, I'm excited about them because I'm a big Minimates fan, you know me. And I've been watching the AEW ever since we got I watched the first episode a long time ago, a couple of years ago. And then I've started watching ever since I found out we were getting the license. And I'm a big fan. So I'm excited. I want to see Kenny Omega wrestle. I don't think I've ever seen him wrestle before. So I'm waiting for him to come off the injured list and come back and dazzle the world again. But he's such a big name and everybody loves him. So we put him in series 1.
Very cool. And then I see there's some cool little accessories here to, get that wrestling vibe going for you. You got a steel chair, you got a broken table.
I think Britt has in one of the pictures is holding a barbed wire bat, which I think we're going to include in the set. And then we've got a chain, I think, for CM Punk, 'cause he did that famous dog collar match with MJF. So looking forward to getting a chance to play with them. And we're working on some other things as well, other bigger accessories. So we'll see how that goes. I think series 2 has a couple of chairs and a regular baseball bat, and I'm not sure what else. But we're working on some big things, and we'll hopefully this is gonna be a big line for us.
Awesome. I look forward to hearing more about those when the time comes. Also on display, I thought a really beautiful piece was these are both the other one's John Moxley, in case anybody's been living under a rock, but gallery AEW statues.
Yes, yeah, they're made out of PVC. We call them gallery dioramas, the PVC ones, just because they usually have some sort of thematic base going on. This is the first one that we're offering, CM Punk. It's up for pre-orders. It's on our website now, but it'll be up for official pre-order everywhere, I think, on August 19th. So he's coming up, and he's really cool. He's gonna have a couple of chairs peeking out the bottom of his base.
Okay.
Like a ring, a couple of steel chairs, and and the next one is Moxley. Right there, you can see Moxley. I think we're still tweaking his likeness a little bit, but he came out pretty great otherwise, and he's like standing up on a guardrail.
Yeah, on the guardrail.
He's got a really
cool.
great pose. It's a great design. I think Gabriel Casada, I think, is the designer on these AEW lines. He's a big AEW fan, and he gives us a couple different ones to look at, and then we turn him loose on one of them. And we've got a couple more in the works. I don't think I could tell you who just yet, but we've got, I think, 3 more pieces that are already designed and are probably in the sculpting stage or close to the sculpting stage. So pretty exciting.
Very cool. You think by the time New York Comic Con comes out, we might be able to see some more AEW stuff depending on how things go.
Yeah, I hope so. We've made up a couple of exclusive Minimate 2-packs, which maybe by then we might actually have somebody on board for. Maybe we can show them off there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the extra galleries, like I said. So by October, I don't know if we'll have Moxley up for pre-order, possibly, but I maybe we'll show off one or two more, possibly. We may do some sort of special promotion for for New York as well, involving AEW. So keep an ear out for that. We might do something cool, have some sort of cool giveaway, something like that.
Oh, awesome. That would be good to hear. And then I think that was it on the wrestling side. What else I got here for you? Yes.
We did have the Minimates 2-pack, by the way, for AEW at the show. And you've got one coming because I know you're a big Minimates fan. But eventually
Thank
we
you.
will have some. It's sold out on the website, but eventually we will have some more up on the website. We didn't sell out at the show, so we're gonna have some come back and get put back into inventory, and I'll try and let everybody know when they're available again.
Oh, good. Very good to hear. I didn't even know they were up on the website. Wow, I'm out of touch.
We opened up a pre-order for them the night of the show started, and
Oh,
we sold out pretty quick, actually. Which I kind of thought we might. I thought we'd sell out at the show, but we came close. But we'll have a few more that we can put back into the web store and sell those there.
so folks, keep your ears open and your eyes open as well, because you can't hear these things on the internet unless you watch video. Anyways, or listen to a podcast. Um, Marvel Select. There was a lot of great talk about Apocalypse. I heard that, like we discussed earlier with Lord of the Rings, you guys decided not to show off the accessories because you're still fine tuning those.
Yeah, I think a picture got out anyway, possibly through Diamond. But we have a few different options for hand attachments. I don't know if we can do all of them, but we're gonna have a couple of different hand attachments, for Apocalypse, so that you can have the weapon hands. Don't want to make a big deal out of them right now because I'm not sure which ones will make it, but there were a couple of cool things like a drill and a mace, I think, and some other stuff.
Oh, very nice. The feedback on this guy overwhelmingly positive, unless you go to the two or three people who refuse to give Diamond any credit for anything. I was like, wow, yeah, what is wrong in your life? Like,
There are a
but
couple people who feel like the face is a little too realistic and not stylized enough to match the body, or the body's proportions are not quite what they wanted. Legs should be a little longer. I hear different things from different people, but I think overall it's a really great looking figure. I think they did a great job. I think it was designed by Eamon O'Donoghue,
okay.
who's great. He does a lot of our selects, and he does a lot of artwork for us in general. And I forget who sculpted it, but I think it might have been a Gentle Giant piece. Gentle Giant Studios. I'm not sure about that, but they did a great job, and I'm excited to get my hands on one in the
Me
future,
too.
so I can fight all my X-Men.
You know what's nice about this guy? He has that old Toy Biz kind of feel to it, but updated to a degree, and just really clean. Like, I don't know. I saw, like, from the videos I saw in the booth and then the pre-order. I'm really impressed with this piece, and uh, you guys, you guys do very good on the Marvel Select stuff, but it seems like when it comes to bigger figures, like you definitely hit like a home run that nobody can ever like catch up to. Like, it's out of the park. It's like a couple of streets down the road.
We've we do get a lot of credit for the big figures, because we are, when we make a regular size figure for Marvel Select, we're not really competing with Marvel Legends because it's a completely different scale. when we make the bigger figures, people, hold us up to Marvel Legends a lot and say, oh, well, this is better than this is worse than this, whatever. Marvel Legends has made a lot of apocalypses. But one of their best apocalypses was probably the Build-A-Figure from Toy Biz.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really great looking apocalypse. It is reminiscent of the original 90s apocalypse, which they did in, I think, 5-inch and 12-inch, that was a really great figure too, just not really posable. But the Build-A-Figure was great. The only problem is it's like 12, 14 inches tall, which I know Apocalypse can change size, but to have him interacting with like your other X-Men characters, he's a little big. So ours is going to be like 8, maybe 9 inches tall. I'm not sure about that. And it's a 7-inch scale, so he's a little bit taller than the the Marvel Selects, but he's not a giant. So I think it'll find a good place in a lot of people's collections. Hopefully they dig the accessories we do. Hopefully they are cool with the face, the realism and that we went for. And but I think it was definitely inspired a lot by those classic 90s Apocalypse figures. If you look at the classic comic appearance of Apocalypse as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of Apocalypses out there. Toy Biz announced, no, Hasbro announced like an animated style one, and they've done a couple modern ones, which are really nice. But we want to do something classic, very classic.
No, I agree. And you got to love the price point for the amount of plastic you're getting with this guy. Like you guys kept, what was it, $29.99 or?
Yeah, as far as I know, we're not changing the price on Marvel Select anytime soon. So everything we do, we try to make it fit at that $29.99 price point. Maybe that means we don't give as many accessories as we could, but we want it to be an affordable figure for everybody. We don't want to start raising the price just to deliver, a couple more pieces, which some people are fine with. Some people say, I'd rather pay a little bit more and get, this much or get something different. More articulation. Articulation is what it is. We can't do more articulation, unfortunately. But the price is also what it is. So I don't think we're going to be changing it anytime soon.
Good to hear. That's in the craziness of the toy world these days. Affordable prices is always nice. Moving on from there, the other big reveal, Beta Ray.
Yes.
New design.
Beta Ray Bill. He's I think he's pretty close to done. I think that's a production sample. Apocalypse was still a prototype, but Beta Ray Bill is a production sample. I think he's going to be shared. I think we're going to have some at the Disney store and some at comic shops. So he goes up for pre-order on August 19th.
August 19th.
So you'll be able to pre-order him, yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Now, here's what I like. There's a couple of things I like. I like the big mohawk, the regal, like, I know some people were saying, I want a classic Beta Ray Bill. I was like, well, that's what they gave us. So you either buy it or you don't. Like, but yeah, I like the design. I like the design.
There are a lot of classic Beta Ray Bills out there. And again, Hasbro's done a couple of them. So even the old Toy Biz one, actually, Toy Biz made 2 of them, but they're all great. It's hard to find a bad Beta Ray Bill figure. But nobody's done that new costume yet, and we wanted to do the new costume because it was so distinctly awesome. So hopefully people dig it. If again it's a big figure, I think he's like 8 inches tall, probably like 9 or 10 with that mohawk. But he's hopefully he'll fit into different people's collections. Hopefully there's a lot of people who like that in modern costume. I think it came out pretty great. He's got the spinning Stormbreaker.
Yes, so. I was about to say, everybody's kind of followed suit with you guys since you first released that Thor years ago. And
yeah, a lot of people
now you guys get to bring it back and do it with the new hammer and be like, well, we're kind of doing our thing, like setting a new standard again.
Yeah, people have definitely done the hammer since we did the hammer. We did the hammer I think we did the hammer first as a Minimate hammer. We did a spinning Minimate hammer that a Minimate Thor could hold. And then when we did the new Thor for the Disney store, the Mighty Thor, we did the bigger version. and I think we were the first to do it. I could be wrong about that, but I know that Hasbro has done it recently, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's so awesome how they did that." But yeah, I think we were the first to do the spinning
I
hammer.
really do too, because I don't remember it before, unless there's something I missed in the Toy Biz era, and they did a lot of figures, so it could be, but I doubt it. I don't. I mean,
I don't want to come on and say, "Oh, we did it first. We did it first. We did it first." I told somebody recently that we were the first people to do the VHS action figures. Then they pointed out that NECA did them back in 2018, but we did one in 2020 for Tron, and since then we've done like 4 or 5 more for Walmart and for other places. 5 or 6 more because we just did 4 at San Diego,
yeah,
and we
you had
did
the Bruce Lee, John Wick, and
Bruce
Cobra
Lee,
Kai.
John Wick, and 2 Cobra Kai figures we did for San Diego. Before that, we did a Tron in 2020 for San Diego, and we did 2 for Walmart, which were Rocketeer and Crow. We
Yes,
did Rocketeer and Crow. I think there was even one more there that we did. So there may be 8 out there now. Rocketeer, Crow, and was there somebody else? I can't remember. But anyway, there are a lot of VHS figures out there now from our 7-inch scale, and now we've got the Minimates VHS coming out. But I think NECA might have done it first. They did a big Turtles box set back in 2018. But
well,
it's
they
the cool
did, didn't they? Yeah, I have that, but it's on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Actually.
But now Hasbro's doing it with their X-Men figures, and somebody else was doing a VH. Oh, they just did. Was it Mattel? Just did it with their No Holds Barred Hulk and Mr. T set. They
Yes,
did a VHS
yes.
box set too. So VHS is the new thing. Although also apparently you can get Blu-rays in VHS boxes, which I never knew. They sell them on Walmart.com.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
It is interesting. It's a little strange, but it's interesting. But VHS packaging is ironically the wave of the future.
It is bringing it back. Let me go. I think this is our final slide here today. This massive thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
I told you a while ago. I saw these, like, I saw the, what was it, the dinosaur, the Megatron.
Yes. We
Yes.
showed him and Megatron in our spring showcase, where we did like a video showing off all the stuff that was upcoming instead of doing Toy Fair. So he's up for pre-order now, I believe.
Yeah, I saw him on Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah, he's an expensive piece. He's like $450.
I can see why. You look at all the colors and the sculpt, and your eyes just go all over the place. Like, he's crazy. Like,
I think he's like 16 inches tall, something like that. He's pretty
huge.
big. And we're doing a Megatron too in the
That,
dinosaur mode.
that
Well,
thing
not
is
dinosaur
even
mode,
huge,
dinosaur version.
bigger.
Yeah, the Mega. Well, I don't think he's bigger than like tall. I don't think he's taller than Optimus Prime because Optimus Prime's
Just
on like
wider.
rocket boosters and on a big rock and stuff like that. The big skull, gorilla sculpt. But he's pretty big. He's about the same size, and he's got the blast coming out of the big T-Rex head, and he goes up for pre-order on the 19th as well. So, but I think he's a $450, $500 piece. So, so we'll see how that goes. I expect
Beautiful
that to do very
pieces.
well.
I think anybody who's a diehard Transformer fan, like, this is something I will admire from far. I'm not. I'm not the. I like Transformers, and actually, you sent over the Minimates. That's actually the only Transformers in my collection. I thought about it.
Really?
That's all I have for Transformers. I was in that era where I was post Transformers and He-Man, tail end of GI Joe. I'm like real Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle era.
Okay.
That's me. Like that other, like, stuff like Mask and all that. It's like I didn't see that stuff in syndication as
Hmm.
a kid. Like, Ghostbusters was still on the air. Turtles had just started at the time. Like, when I was a kid, those were the things I went to. Oh, and then Super Friends, but that was in syndication.
Yeah. No, I was pure G.I. Joe, Transformers. I watched Mask. I didn't really have any Mask toys. What else did I watch? I watched Cops, but I never had any Cops
Mm.
toys either. I
I think I
eventually
had
watched
a couple
Ninja.
cop. No, I had Police Academy toys.
Very different.
Yeah,
Very different.
I know, but I was like, I had to think about that. I did have a couple Police Academy toys as a kid.
I watched Ninja Turtles and I watched X-Men the animated series. And I watched what was the other one you said besides TMNT?
What was it Transformers, GI Joe, He-Man?
I never watched. Yeah, maybe I watched a little bit of He-Man, but I never had any He-Man toys. I had like one Star Wars toy because I was born. I was 6 when Return of the Jedi came out, so I only had Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap.
And it's a trap. And but I never had any Cops, even though it was one of my favorite. It eventually became one of my favorite toy lines of all time. But I never had any Mask. My brother had all the Ninja Turtles. I might have had a couple. I think I had Donatello.
Mm.
But he had the rest of them. But it was I think I'm a little bit older than you are, so
Nah.
a little bit.
I was gonna say, what was it? Oh, was there anything else, anything upcoming, or anything you could talk about before I
Yeah,
let you go?
yeah. Let's see. August 19th, you can pre-order the CM Punk. You can pre-order that Megatron Transformers statue or the dinosaur one. You can pre-order Beta Ray Bill. We're doing. We showed off a Scotty Young Hawkeye statue at the show, little one, and he's going to be up for pre-order on the 19th. We showed off a Marvel Gallery Venom pool, which was really cool. A big PVC Venom pool.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
he's going up on August 19th as well. The newest Gargoyles bust, Demona, will be up for pre-order on the August 19th. She was at the show as well.
I wanted to ask you real quick about
Sure.
that line. How has the response been to those? I know the X-Men and Spider-Man ones have been pretty popular. I know Gargoyles are starting to make a comeback here too. How's fan response been to?
I think it's been pretty good. I think we had a little bit of a misstep with Xanatos, the bad guy, because I don't think we showed his alternate head. I believe that he will come with both an unhelmeted head and a helmeted head. So I think there's just a problem. We didn't show the right picture. Classic DST. But there will be an alternate head that I think we showed at the show, which is his helmeted head. So I think that makes it a lot more appealing piece to a lot of people. So hopefully we can update the pictures on that and get more information out about that, and people will dig it anyway. It's a very cool bust. Again, designed by Barry Bradfield, and I think sculpted by Varner Studios, who Steve Varner sculpted the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to bringing it back around. And now his studio does a lot of our animated style things, including Gargoyles and also including Darkwing Duck. We aren't finished with the action figure yet that we announced, but we're going to offer the first gallery diorama of Darkwing Duck on August 19th. So we'll be revealing that at some point in the next couple of weeks. We'll show that off for the first time, and it'll go up for pre-order on the 19th. And the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Minimates, the second series, which completes the team, goes up for pre-order on August 19th as well. We showed those at the show as well. It has the Red Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Black Ranger, and White Ranger, I believe. Blue, Pink, and Green are already out as part of Series 1, along with Alpha 5. I never watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I know there's a lot of fans, and I know that people have said that box set, the first box set, is one of the best Mini-Mate sets we've ever done. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's got alternate heads, removable masks, lots of weapons, including the big weapon that they all put together, I think. And then we've got a bunch of Star Wars stuff going up for pre-order on August 19th. We don't really talk Star Wars very much around here on your show, do we?
Every now and then, it depends on when I catch you for these interviews for release schedules.
Yeah, we've got a couple of pieces based on Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV series, which is cool.
I showed off
a statue and a bust.
Didn't you guys show off a Vader Obi-Wan at San Diego?
Yes, we showed off a Vader statue, an Obi-Wan statue, a Vader bust. But this on August 19th, you'll get the Obi-Wan bust and the Darth Vader statue for pre-order. And we're also have a new jumbo figure, those 12-inch classic-looking figures. We have a Sand Trooper, which is cool because they never made a Sand Trooper in the original Star Wars toy line, which I didn't know until very recently.
I didn't know that till just now.
So we're making a vintage-style Sand Trooper for the first time, which is cool. And actually, something very interesting about Star Wars is this month, August 19th, we're going to offer the first wide release gallery diorama from Star Wars. We've previously done a couple for Disney Store. We did a Darth Vader, and we did a Mandalorian, and we did a Boba Fett. But we're going to do one for comic shops, which is very cool. It's actually based on the Star Wars video game. I won't reveal it just now, but we're going to do a gallery diorama. So that's going to have a price point of $80 for a really nice statue made out of PVC.
Oh, very nice. I'm excited to see. It sounds like August 19th is the day to circle on your calendars or add it to your phone.
Yes, please do.
Do people even circle their calendars anymore, you think?
I do. I was looking at a calendar just now to see when they were going to come out, August 19th. I got one right here. But there you go. But I'm old school, I guess. I did set a reminder for this interview on my phone, and I wrote it on my calendar. So I use both. But if I'm planning out really far ahead, I don't usually do my phone. I usually do a calendar.
Well, see, there you go. Let's see here. I guess to wrap things up, they can follow you guys on Instagram and Twitter at CollectDST, correct?
Yes, Instagram and Twitter is CollectDST. Facebook, we have an account there too. Diamond Select Toys, all one word. And for the Star Wars stuff, you can follow Gentle Giant Limited, Gentle Giant LTD at Instagram and Twitter, and then also on Facebook, I believe. We also have YouTube channels for both. We mostly post up like 360s of the different products that are coming out, when they get closer to release. We have TikTok accounts too. So if you want to check those out, I think both of those handles should work for TikTok, CollectDST and Gentle Giant LTD. But we post some of the same stuff there, but it's fun. TikTok.
Awesome. And then if besides your local comic shops and your online e-tailers, they want to make purchases, they can always head over to diamondselecttoys.com as well, right?
Yes. And for Star Wars, go to gentlegiantltd.com. But diamondselecttoys.com has everything that's not Star Wars is there.
Awesome. That will work. Well, sir, I can't thank you enough for always giving me your time. I sincerely appreciate it. Sorry I wasn't able to attend San Diego, but hopefully Toy Fair next year, we're going to meet up again and have ourselves a wonderful time.
Yeah, I'm very curious what the new Toy Fair is going to be like, because it's going to be in September instead of February, so it's not going to snow. It's going to be a nice fall day. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how a September Toy Fair is.
I was about to say, I've only been to New York for Toy Fair, so this is going to be different because, walking over to the Javits Center in February is not exactly the warmest event in the world. Once you're inside, you're good, but
no, it gets pretty cold in New York in February.
And I live in the mountains, so it's that that's that ocean breeze, man, with the cold. Ugh.
It gets cold by you, right? Up in Colorado.
Yeah, it gets a little cold, but we have such weird weather. It could be raining on one side of the street and the other side it's dry. You're like, well, what's going on here? It could be snowing down the street and the other side it's like, no, not yet. It's just wacky weather. But seriously though, thank you as always. So I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, anytime. So with that being said, folks, go check out all the cool stuff. Let us know what you think. And until we meet again, great googly moogly.